So here we go. Well, hello everybody. It is the IFR League 1 US eGP here in Texas, and it's surely going to be an exciting race today. And the championship is also looking very exciting indeed. It's 4 points separating the top two as we get ready for what will surely, hopefully be a very exciting race indeed. Texas, it really usually is. And yeah, I'm Max Roberts. I'm your co-commentator today. When have you ever heard that? It will be our new commentator who leads in the commentary crew and taking a look at the championship. It is TSMO who does lead us. It is Lurchy in P2, and then it is Clapland followed by Luico, Chris LV, Vigo, XLV, Don, Teo, Peppies, Greed, Heavy, Mike Pro, Fox, Dracris, Noah, GDA, TTP, Guru, Dirt, and Freddy. Yeah, just waiting on a couple of cars to get out on circuit, and I need to actually find those cars, as it's a bit buggy. So I don't think half these people. Oh no, I see why now. Let's turn that on. Right, let's get this underway then. Yeah. This is the hat of Don. He's currently P8 in the championship. He definitely be looking to make some ground. We've seen some pace from him in previous races. TSMO is already invalidated on an outlap, I believe. Yeah, we wait to see. I need to turn on the rest of these sectors. This is still there. Still from the mystery race. But here we go. Don starting a lap. Let's go through the Texas circuit on the American liveried car. It's a tight turn one. 22 cars can go side by side. And into the S's we go. Definitely a huge spot for overtaking we'll see here. Through the S's we go. Nicely done there. Possibly a bit tighter on that final one. No, that was perfect. As that is sector 1 over with, as we go into sector 2, mainly considering the long straights for long DRS straight, as it's another tight braking zone as he starts that. And DRS open around about now. No, around about now. Down the straight we go. And braking about, I don't know, braking point, I'll say 100, just before 100 it was. And once again, another tight corner. Lots of tight corners, lots of fast corners. You don't really see medium speed a lot as Don drops down to about 90 miles per hour there. Once again, another very tight braking zone onto the final sector. And it is Chris LV who's gone purple in the second sector. Don's purple in the first. TSMO green. Or TSMO not doing any purples. And invalidation, that's an annoying place to invalidation. Or to invalidate your lap. As Chris LV will cross the line around about now. And he goes provisional fastest for 32.6. As what time will TSMO set? As pulling nicely out of the way. As across the line goes his teammate P2. Yellow's in the first sector, it's just Chris LV getting out of the way. We take a look at Lurchy P2 in the championship. As Peppies goes purple in the first sector. TSMO also purple, I'm not trusting that because it said earlier that he got green. Where's TSMO? Yeah, he's got green, this is saying. Yellow flags in the third sector as Peppies goes P2. TSMO goes P3. Where can his teammate Lurchy go? Round the final couple of corners, round about now. Into a braking zone. He's going to cross the line. What is it going to be for the Ferrari driver? It is P1 and purple in the last sector. Don't know why I said it like that. Interesting. Yellow flags once again. It is Clapland moving out of the way. XLV. Purple in the middle sector. Green in the first. His first lap, so that doesn't really mean anything with the green. However, the purple is very important. Noah going slowly in the final couple of corners. Looks to be in the pit lane. XLV will round off the final couple of corners. Don't invalidate here. He does nicely to knots. Into the braking zone we go. DRS open and he's going to cross the line. It is P1 by almost a tenth of a second. As the Rico is also on the lap, we'll take a look at the McLaren driver. He sits, I think, P4. Yeah, P4 in the championship. He recently took positions off Chris LV as of last race. And if you do want to support the server, as 5 attempts up goes Noriko. But yeah, if you do want to support the server, there is a PayPal. Once you join, you just go off TSMO's profile and you can find a PayPal section. Otherwise, if you do want to support the commentators, we are starting a new iRacing team. Sponsors open. Check out our Discord through the IFR. Crossing the line goes Noriko. It is a second faster. Where is this pace coming from? Yeah, just under a second faster goes the McLaren. Let me just turn off my mouse. You guys can't see my mouse anymore. Ashton invalidated lap, of course he has, before he even starts it. Lovely stuff there from you, Ashton. Noah, Don, and Greedle on a outlap. Ashton and Josh have not set a time yet. Ashton was going to be able to fly. He has invalidated. This was the first race, Texas in Elixir. We started using this new UI. Pretty good UI, I would say so. But as Ashton rounds off the penultimate corner before the DRS straight, as everyone from P2 to P9 is in the pit lane, I say that TSMO is now exiting. I will take a look at the championship leader as Pepe's exits, Adler exits. 10 minutes remain in this short qualifying session. I need to sort something out with my leaderboard. 1 second, guys. as Noah is currently on a lap at the moment. Let's take a look at the Alpine driver. He secured P3 in yesterday's League 2 race after starting, I think, P8. Don going 400ths faster than Luico in the first sector. That is... Now I don't know what to believe. I think the people at PA have messed something up in the new update, because my new, or this little timing thing at the bottom is now inaccurate to what the leaderboard says. However, we still go on. Noah in the final sector now. What can he do against Luico's time? I'm thinking at least top 8 is possible for the driver who spent all day with me grinding on iRacing. Around the final corner we go. Bit of a correction there. Have a DRS open and he's going to cross the line. He went P15 for a minute. I got a bit confused because he went down, however he was P10. What can Don do? I think... Yeah, what can Don do? Don goes into P2. Nicely done there. We take a look at Greed, if we can find him. Where's Greed? Greed doesn't have to cross the line for me to find you, because once again it's a bit messed up. Cross the line he goes P14. What about TSMO? TSMO goes 8/10 back. There's yellow flags out. Not for long, it is all gone once again. But TSMO... Going off a final couple of corners we go now. And across the line, what can the Ferrari do? DRS open, he's going to cross the line. He's going to go P2, but by 5/10 down, significant gate for the car. 99, that is Greed. Pepe's will be crossing the line. Next, he's going to cross the line now. Yellow in the first sector, however, he goes into P3. What can Adler do next to cross the line? Still got 7 minutes left as Lurchy goes purple in the first sector. And across the line goes the Alpine driver. Remains in P10. What about Clapland? He's up there in the championship. Lurchy does go purple in the first sector, but crossing the line goes to the McLaren. That's not improved. Chris LV, he's invalidated his lap, so we go on to Lurchy, who's going down the back straight now. And what is it going to be in sector 2? It is 3/10 off Luico's time. Quickly onto that. Across the line will go Lurchy. And across the line he goes. He goes P2 ahead of his teammate. And that's a good position in terms of a championship. However, Luico up in the first sector, down in the middle. What is it going to be for the McLaren driver? Into the pit lane he goes. Almost hitting the wall. Lativo in the Williams has invalidated. What about the Sauber we take a look at now? Now it's saying Ashton's at 131. However, no. Like, this is buggy. Around the final corner goes XLV. And it is remaining in P6. Lower in the pit lane. As Adler starts the lap now. Into the first corner. No, he's already invalidated it. But the driver who invalidated it earlier is on the lap now. P15, Aston. As through the S&T goes. What is it going to be for the Red Bull driver? Yellow's on down the main straight. It is green and a tenth off Luico's time. Based on Luico's setup, what I'm seeing, I suspect he's probably using something that is really heavy on the straight here, which is why he's down in the first sector. Also, there's a bit more straight, or some straights in the middle sector, or in the final sector. Here we go. On board with Ashton, yes, second, and he's lost the whole second and he invalidates. Of course he has. Of course Ashton's invalidated it. As... no, I don't see anyone else on the lap at the moment. Except for Chris Helby, who's just started a lap. We'll go on board with a Mercedes driver. And through the S's goes Chris Helby as green, follows behind him. Purple in the first sector, 10th up on Luico's time, but will he lose it later on in the lap? As Josh overtakes Ashton, he's got a 31. No, he hasn't. That's not very Josh-like. As what will it be in the second sector? It's 200ths down. Yellow flagged in that third sector where Chris LV is approaching. Round off the final couple of corners now. And a big slide there for the Mercedes driver. In the end, he goes P4. He lost a lot. Oh, Greed hits the wall. Greed trying to go to the side. He's got damage on his front left. Not at all what he wants. As the main field is following Luico here, Josh leads this field. However, the train forms behind the McLaren of Luico. I don't know if anything is going on in chat, I can't really see. That's the NLS. What's actually going on in NLS? I can speak now. Finally. As Josh does go ahead of Ashton temporarily. Okay, nothing is going on in chat. Lovely, lovely stuff. Josh invalidates his lap. He will not go on to do any more. Pepe's, he's been up there. He could go for pole. Lativo and Chris LV both DNF'd. Oh, spin! Spin there for the Haas driver. And he goes off. Now will be the perfect time. He's backing out. He's going to have to go now, otherwise it'll be too late and Luico will catch. Will Luico catch in time? Yes, he does now. Pepe's will have to wait for a whole train of cars behind to get back going. Clapton, he's up in the first sector up compared to Luico, who's just gone purple. Lurchley goes purple in the first sector. We'll take a look at the Ferrari. As the final cars of Ashton goes through Josh, letting Luico through now, or Clapton through now. And yeah, Pepe's does invalidate after that. Now we just wait. So Greed, he's done with his lap. What can Lurchy do in his final moments of qualifying in IFR? Clapton goes up into P2, but will that last against Lurchy? XLV will cross the line now. Luico, purple in the first sector, yellow, but it's an improvement on his time. What about Lurchy though? He's going to cross the line. It is purple in the first sector, green in the middle. Round the final corner, a bit of a slide, but however, he's going to cross the line. He goes up into P2. What about his teammate, the championship leader, TSMO? Up into P2, he overtakes Lurchy. I think that is our pole contenders out. And it is pole. Okay. Right. Pole position for this driver here. It is a Luico P1. And in paddock chat, the race lights thingy's gone on. I'm going to go on a quick break. See you all momentarily for the start of what will surely be a very exciting race. Welcome back, those on stream. I'm Max Roberts. I'm your commentator today, not your lead commentator. Lead commentator goes for Custom NBC with me. Hello, Harry.
Yeah, hello. It's always great to be inside the commentary box. First event as well, so
Yeah.
some stakes. As I've just been jump scared by the own stream. So
Yeah, fair. So to those just joining us, if I remember correctly, it's Luico on pole, followed by TSMO, then Clapton, then not Clapton, then Lurchley, then Clapton. And yeah, moments away. Drivers have been told to start. Good luck to all you drivers. Quick iRacing advert if you guys want to support Elixir in iRacing, go join our Discord. However, lights are being shown. Everything we soon go racing in Texas.
yeah, and they are immediately out. I didn't even see him come up first of all, but it's Lucio who leads versus TSMO, who's on the inside with Lurchy and Clapton all tucked in behind. But the Ferrari will barge their way through as there's all havoc in the background. I believe there's a Haas. There's about 5 wide between the Sauber, Mercedes, McLaren, pretty much everyone you can list as they all go through the S's. But it's a Ferrari 1-2 as things stand, which will be pivotal for their championship. In the sense that
Josh and Adler side by side with a bit of contact as Pepe's trying to make some moves, and there's a Mercedes going off. It is Chris LV with a 3-second time penalty for Mercedes have 3 seconds. Chris LV from up there at the top, he's down at the bottom here for taking Ashton now.
Yeah, Ashton to the inside against the Mercedes, just going to have to try and give that little squeeze, as I believe it's medium and hards on them both respectively, as the majority of the field running that medium compound, softs on one of the Red Bulls of Elliott, and then hards on Lucio and Clapton. Do apologise for my pronunciation. I'm gonna learn the names as we go, but it's been a fairly, how do I phrase it, tidy-ish start. Of course, we have Manic, but
not if your name,
way fine.
Not if your name's Pepe's. He's spun at the start of the race. Josh Elliott starting on the soft. He's gone bold there. However, once again, after that, where's Chris LV? Chris LV's lost a lot of possession with the yellow flag out somewhere. It's gone back to green flag racing. There's my voice gone.
Yeah, Lurchy still following
Chris LV. Has Chris LV spun? No, he's in the pit lane. He's got damage to the front wing.
That is pivotal. But Noah has got Clapton. Yeah, that's game over for the Mercedes. Not ideal whatsoever regarding their 106 points back in the championship. But you've got Clapton and Noah pushing each other through the S's. I love to phrase Texas as pretty much one big F1 track hybrid. You've got elements of Abu Dhabi, Turkey, and Silverstone all in this track, creating it pretty much a dream circuit. But for the most part, no one but Ferrari are having a dream race. As you can just see, they are 1.7 clear of their closest competitor. Geez, my language is out the window today. So do apologise. But Clapton and Noah going wheel to wheel for a brief moment. The Alpine finally getting ahead of the Chrome Papaya, as they just hope not to drop anything lower than that. They're currently in the driver's fight, but today's result may lead to it being a straight-up duel between the prancing horses in the finale in a week's time. Because just for a little bit of an update, 12 points split the top 3, 4 between the top 2. So a big result like this could easily knock the Hungarian out.
Yeah, it's not been a great start, has it been for the McLaren P9? He's P3 in the championship. This could decide the actual championship in general, depending on TSMO's launch against him. 12 points currently the gap. As long as Clapton's up there on the podium, he still has a relative chance at it. Lurchley, if he overtakes TSMO, I've got the standings here, he's going to be leading the championship. This will be very interesting to go. Lurchley, I mean, at this point, anyone can drop out of the championship now if it's the top 2 to 4 in the championship, as long as they don't score points, TSMO can be champion. And it's similar logic for Lurchy, Clapton not the same.
Yeah, it's really like difficult to phrase it because, of course, as you described near enough perfectly, the second to third are in the fight. Luco, being a bit further back, 72 points back. Unfortunately, they're out of it. They're just going to do everything they can to bring as many points into the team as possible. In their fight with Mercedes, for Ferrari, they were champions weeks ago, from my understanding.
I mean,
It really does look like they've been unchallenged.
yeah, so it would have been champions, I believe, last time out of a mystery GP. Really was a mystery GP. The only mystery is why Saudi Arabia was cancelled. So, Ferrari do leave with 99 points. That is the Constructors' Championship done with, unless, which I believe there isn't, a sprint race, which I don't think there isn't.
I don't think so, but Gogo has just gone up into P6 through the first corner, as there is Noah going round on the exit. I believe there was a bit of contact with the house of Don.
Front left end
which
play gone.
is a shame. Yeah, front end play, and background goes the Alpine, just giving us a few little pirouettes and donuts just to give us a bit of Texas sizzle on this barbecue of a race. But so lurching, very much lurching right behind TSMO. DRS wide open as round goes an Aston Martin of Greed.
And round the outside.
Yeah, bold, ambitious. Will it be successful? Is the question. The switch back on the exit to the outside. For I believe it's turn 13. As they do go banging wheels, so close between them and finding the wall. But Lurchy straight down the inside and up into your lead, as TSMO will try and fight it through the triple right hand of 16, 17 and 18. And down to a very notorious corner of turn 19. So easy to get a track limit strike there, but both drivers keeping it clean. And into the next DRS zone, as Greed has again found that Aston Martin going off-road. I think he's getting this confused with WRC rather than F1.
So Luico is really capitalising on this battle. TSMO and Lurchy going at it. He's brought the gap down quite a bit into the S as we go. Can TSMO make a move? It's very bold if he does. It doesn't look like he can. He's a bit too far back.
I mean, it's always difficult trying to go in there as compared to anywhere else on this circuit. I mean, you could more likely get a move done in turn 4 than you can turn 2.
No, it's retired.
Which is good. That does not really change this race whatsoever. But there's 2 out after 5 laps. Jesus.
I'm trying to find a reason for Noah's retirement. I believe we'll go back to that as TSMO retakes the race lead. Can Lurchy put up a challenge? No, he can't. However, Luico is now well in this fight. He's 6 tenths back on Lurchy. He's now brought back down to 4 tenths.
Yeah, he's on the hard compounder tyres as well. So they are going to come into play in the very near future, maybe around lap 6 or 7 for those brain-rotted souls. But realistically, the latter of the two, as, the mediums from the strategies yesterday, it was something like 13 laps on the mediums and 15 on hard. So the one stop is salvageable. You just have to be mighty careful with those tyres.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure we saw someone get a puncture on lap 9 yesterday when you did have Jack Frosley in the commentary box.
What is the beef between you two?
It's quite long-winded. Maybe not suitable to be doing during Div 1, but yeah.
Hey, maybe Div 2.
Yeah, maybe Div 2.
So Josh Elliott sitting P14 with a 6-second time penalty. He had to pit off the soft tyres, saying, damn, soft tyres really do... Actually, let me pull up the actual message. Softs die in like 2 laps, bloody hell. That is what he said in commentary chat. can actually make another move. In terms of penalties, Gogo thrust forced by the 6 seconds. He's going to try and make a move on the Sal Adam, and with the DRS, can he do it? The DRS will open about now. Yes, it is. As we go back to the battle for the lead, and it is getting very close here. As Luico has to go wide, he's on the hard tires. So, well to catch up. Clapton on his charge, backup position, he's P7. Pepe G also got a bad start. He's going to be looking to get back up, and he has done so as him. And the Williams do fight it out. And yeah, I think Lativo does get out on top there.
Yeah, I think that is ideal for Williams. Of course, they're last in the standings, 15 points compared to Red Bull's 17. This 1 point does drag it a wee bit closer, but still means Red Bull leader as Greed getting 3 seconds for track limits as it's starting to ramp up. Not as quick as we saw yesterday. I'm pretty sure there was about 7 drivers with a penalty come lap 7. But
yeah,
just shows the difference in caliber across the two divisions. They are still immensely high. Even I couldn't keep up with the field when I drove yesterday. So, yeah.
Going back to this Red Bull Williams, I'm going to be honest. These two being the licks, I can bully them as much as I want. They can't do anything. Sorry, guys. The two Red Bull drivers, I doubt they're going to stand a chance against the one Williams. But yeah.
It's kind of like putting it in the respect of 22, the 2 Ferraris versus 1 Red Bull. It really wasn't a competition. It was just...
As look at this. There's Luico trying to make a move. He went down the inside, even a bit of wheel banging, and there's contact. And Luico has failed to move. Yeah,
Clapton, however, up to P6, going around the long way through turn 13 and 14 into 15. Trying to keep it into the inside. The McLaren desperate to make some ground up, knowing that this could be his championship as Pepe's has gone round in the Haas car, I believe. May have been a bit of contact with the Williams, but the battle continues. Gogo, he's just dropped to P7. He could end up going a bit further down to P8 because Don Pedrito right on the back end of the Mercedes. But will he be able to hit bullseye towards turn 1? Both of them using DRS. The Haas slightly looks to the inside, goes, you know what, I think it's better I leave it for another time. And that is exactly what they do. As they now go back through the S's.
That's a Sauber and Aston Martin. They're pretty good. They're equal on points. There's yellow flags out. Is it? I can't even speak. Is it Josh Elliott?
Yeah, it is. The Red Bull really having a nightmare of a race today.
Yeah, Josh, how about you forget about GCSEs. Who needs them when you got this? As there is a move for P2. It is Luico with the DRS making a move on Lurchy.
Yeah, this is definitely where the hard compounds are now the strongest. Yeah. As I said, around this area of lap. And we've finally seen a move in amongst the top 3. It's been fairly gridlock all race so far. Exactly the same said between 4th down to 8th. They've pretty much been matching each other from lights out to the stage we're at currently. But Clapton is definitely starting to pile up the pressure on Heavy Madbam and Vexies. So the question will be, when does he get the move? As Lurchy goes into the pit lane trying to undercut his teammate. I'm pretty sure Ferrari have ended up scrapping the team rules for today's race. But Lurchy having a very delayed exit. I think that was just mad.
Seeing these two in both Elixir and IFR, there's no team rules. Forget Forza rules if you want that version of McLaren, but there's not really any team rules. It's just whoever gets out ahead. They, as long as they keep it clean, there's no damage between the two. It's all good between them.
As there is Gogo, who has a big slide, and Don barging his way by. Sorry about the interruption. Back to
don't worry about it. Yeah, so pretty much everyone provisionally. Oh, look at this side by side, Clapton and Don, as Luico makes the move for the race lead. However, it's still side by side between these two. This is the first time I've sat down this race.
Must feel nice. As there's Vexy around the outside. Clapton, however, the tighter line on the inside, the better traction on these more worn-out hard compounds. They've really sprung to life. You've seen it in both McLarens. Luco making 2 moves in 2 laps, going third to first, and now Clapton starting to put the pressure onto Heavy Mad Bam now. Could he maybe even make it 2 moves in 1 lap? Into the pits comes your championship leader, however. Question will be whether or not he comes out ahead or behind his Scuderia teammate, because that is a 14-point swing in this Constructors' Championship on the basis they finish 1-2.
Easily behind, in my opinion. But
yeah,
the 2 battling and the undercut would have had a huge effect on that, and everyone provisionally below, as TSM, yes, TSM has come out ahead.
Yeah, and it looks like by
quite a margin.
Distance, yeah. So either the overcut worked or Lurchy had something go wrong in that pit stop. Whereas TSMO got away fine as Gogo not being able to get away fine this time, going for a little trip into the grass, almost hitting TSMO in the process, and now splits the 2 Mercedes. There is now a mobile chicane between them. So Lurchy will have to try and take down the Silver Arrow as quickly as possible, and then set their sights back on their teammate in this race, while Luco will just be trying to extend and extend as long as they can, as Lurchy to the inside against Gogo, and that is the Ferrari through, as Clapton also making a move on Heavy Mad Bam. But they are still going at it, wheel to wheel. The Racing Bulls on the outside here for turn 15. Will they try and pull off the cheeky little switch back instead? They will try and pull Clapton out of the race, as almost sending him off into a spin. And now Vexy's trying to go past, instead settling down for position. But the Ferraris now united again in 7th and 8th, as Josh has indeed had that offing. Vexy's into the pits, trying to undercut his competition of Heavy Mad Bam and Don Pedrito, maybe even Clapton in this race, as I believe Ashton has also gone for a spin. Yes, he has, right in front of the pit entry, which is quite ideal for him because it's not a long journey back.
Remember when I asked what can the Red Bulls actually do? Coming into play here.
Spin.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of you, Elixir, guys. Josh, this is what you get for abandoning me in commentary.
Yeah, definitely. Karma striking back is the best way to put it.
Josh, abandoning me in commentary a few weeks ago here. He's forced to not be an Elixir driver. Maybe because I own it, but you know.
Yeah. As Don Pedrito using DRS against Heavy Mad Bam. We haven't seen the Haas promote themselves to a top 3 in this race so far. He looks to the inside and thought about it for a second. This is pretty much his prime opportunity to make some ground. Now it's him with DRS and his opposition pretty much being left there without any form of resource for survival.
Whoa,
but instead Don goes round and into the wall, not what was intended from the Haas, and that is definitely a shame because they will have to get that fixed, and will guarantee Gogo coming out ahead, Heavy into the pit lane, and now TSMO and Lurchy in hot pursuit of Clapton. It does definitely look like the championship is going to be over at the end of these 28 laps for the Papaya drivers, as the Ferraris are just on a cruise here.
How much do you lose in pit stop? Was it 19 seconds we saw earlier?
Pretty 21. Sure it's 20. Yeah, I was going to say 21 or 22 is your stop. Maybe even drop it down the middle.
Looking at this strategy, TSMO, or both the Ferraris definitely got a pit again. Hards aren't going to go to the end. Luico and Clapton, they've not pit yet. They're on the hards. They've got about 19-second gap. By the time that closes down, they're going to be in the pit lane. So are the two Ferraris. They're doing their second pit stop. So I believe a one-stop could be possible between the McLarens, who can't get that P1 in the constructors. They have got P2 because no one else can really catch up. However, Clapton still in this fight. Luico needs to defend Chris LB, who has retired. At this point, Luico will definitely get P4 in the drivers unless Vigo does anything. Which, is Vigo on the grid at the moment?
Don't think so. I'm trying to see it, but no. Don't believe so.
Peace. There's a spinner. It is Don. No, not Don. Pepe's.
Well, one Haas was round a lap ago, the other round this lap. Not ideal. But what may be ideal for the likes of Clapton and Luico is a safety car. Because those hards are going to start getting to a point where they will be screaming out for help. Get a safety car in the next lap or two, and I'll be honest, they could probably nurture those mediums to the end with a bit of love and care.
With a bit of luck and care, in my opinion. Pepe's on the pit lane. Don's left the session.
I believe he was meant to... No, I don't think it was planned for the Haas driver. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But Pepe's dropping down to P12 in this race. Unlikely he'll be overtaken by Greed. So, the Haas's out of the points. Not ideal with Racing Bulls. Only a mere 10 points behind them entering today's race. With the way Heavy Mad Bam is going, it could definitely be a top 4 for Racing Bulls, which would just about put them ahead of their opponents entering the final races. Greed, yeah, great for spotting, has gone off on another conquest. At this point, he might as well make a bunch of side quests for this race, as the two Ferraris on another side quest, and that is to overtake the Hungarian of Clapton. Will the Silver Chrome Papaya be able to stand out for the time being and maybe even help their teammates in the long run just to try and take home a McLaren win? Even though they know the championship's over, it's worth just getting the status quo of the race win.
And side by side
goes TSMO, trying to hold it for turn 2, but they will have to jostle for position, as it will be Clapton who manages to get the meter line through turn 3 and 4, and therefore holds up the Ferrari for a while longer. If he really wanted to, he could just go through this section in like gear 2, really hold them up, as it's near enough impossible to overtake. There's TSMO looking at a move on the outside for turn 11, but doesn't manage to get the car fully rotated in time. DRS wide open against the Papaya. Second time is a charm to the outside, and that should be a done move, but Clapton will give it every last bit of oomph behind that steering wheel as the McLaren trying to go around the outside for 12 and 13. Greeder's retired as Lurchy almost sent itself round into a little spin behind these two. A big snap of oversteer, but through the triple right, and it's TSMO who is going to come out victorious in that duel.
Can't sit down anymore, I'm standing up. Right, let's get back to racing.
Yeah, as we are really having a show put on tonight for Season 2, Round 9 of this League 1 Championship, as Lurchy to the outside just straight up overtakes Clapton.
But
it was a lot easier.
The old hearts are going to be dying off now.
Yeah, they will pretty much be more beat down like a dead horse than anything. Whereas these two Ferraris very much being horses full of life as they are galloping along in their own trot. So I'm trying to use as much equatorial terminology as possible, when all I'll be honest is I dated a horse rider for like 6 months, doesn't help my case.
I'm taking a look at strategy here. Remember Josh pissing off the softs earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Guess whose teammate is now on the soft tyres, and I'm going to assume back in the pit lane, because these are not going to last.
Yeah, I don't know what the delirium is in that Red Bull garage. I'll be straight up. I'm going to call him delirious because you've just seen Josh start on the soft and have to evacuate from him within the first 5 laps. And now you're on it as a viable second stint.
So,
It's
what I'm looking
interesting.
at, I don't think they're in VC. They could be in private VC, but most of the time they're in the Elixir one. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately not connected to Elixir, so.
I mean, if you want the link later, Druid
Go
has
at
left.
it. Well,
Oh,
yeah,
there's a move for P2.
Ooh. Yeah, Lurchy versus TSMO. I'm so not awake for this. I'm too ill. As TSMO trying to regain the pace as Elliot has had a moment. He's in the wall, I believe. Yes,
yeah, he is.
As I wonder what he says today. Yesterday, he just drove straight into a wall and said it was because my wheel disconnected.
Josh has your wheel disconnected again because I'm pretty sure it was working fine earlier when you weren't using it. Maybe do a bit of practice.
Yeah, I want to see what he says today, though.
I could get it out of him what his thoughts are.
But TSMO right behind Lurchy. The two Ferraris maybe going for another little fiasco between one another. This time, however, no move made into turn 11. So they are just going to have to wait out a bit longer. However, the Austrians probably not too overly alarmed.
Luico. Sorry to interrupt, but we could see a change in lead. And I think Clapton could even. I think Clapton could also be in 2.2. I've got. I don't know. You don't have custom HUD, do you?
No, unfortunately, being PS.
Okay. Luico has exited the pit lane. Has he made a move? Clapton is in, like I said, and Luico will remain in the race lead. And I believe Josh has joined Josh on mute. What the hell happened? Did your wheel disconnect?
No, I just kind of gave up there. So DNF in like a safe place.
That wasn't really a safe place.
I was convinced that was going to be a safety car.
For some reason, it called that a safe place. I tried to do it like off track in a gravel trap.
Well,
I mean, that was a wall, but
okay. To be fair, Mexico IFR people residing in the pit lane, then the AI coming back out of the pit lane and crashing into half the grid. Talk to Noah about that. He's definitely got some stories to tell. Yeah, well, Noah, or Josh, now you're here. You've got no excuse to not commentate with us.
I think we've got enough.
Actually, I've got that other league starting soon. You know. That doesn't definitely always run late, but still.
No, what's next? Your fish is going to drown. Like, you don't need
my grandma's cousin's fish just drowned, by the way.
Right. Okay, I need to update our new commentary list.
Oh my god.
To add Josh on.
No, I'm leaving.
No, I'm adding you anyway.
Oh my god. I am going to go insane come the end of this race, ladies and gents. Please, if you want to spare a cause, please donate to Mind. Just to bear in mind that my mind is not okay. However, my mind is doing mind things to try and keep me alive, but how many more times can I say mind?
How about you guys just, donate to the Elixir iRacing project, We've got a budget of £5 in this next league race.
£5.
I mean, I'd much rather donate to, I don't know.
Me?
The fucking Arsenal Foundation. Just because then that way I may be able to help them afford a singular trophy cabinet that will not be used for about 120 years.
What about you donate to us buying some practice lobbies as you've got the Ferraris going wheel to wheel at the end of the DRS straight? Yes, it has cost to practice in a team.
At that point, I'd just go on Minecraft.
And
As
it does-
Lurchy darts it to the inside against TSMO. The Ferrari, however, being able to switch back the other Ferrari and going the long way. In fact,
Very
TSMO does
long.
go off the track and continues momentum, doesn't gain the place. If he did, then there would have definitely been a few question marks between the two Scuderias. Because I'll be honest, I don't think Lurchy would have wanted to lose that place in such manner with his teammate going off the road to get it done. But TSMO to the inside for turn 1, covered off by his teammate. And I do think that's a double move from Lurchy as he went to the inside. And the moment TSMO went to the outside, he came darting back across. So the question will be,
There's
Second-
peanuts there.
these Ferraris go
Man
to the
died.
building room as Ashton
died.
has had a DNF.
Ashton
And,
has died
straight.
on the DRS straight. What has happened to the group driver?
All I know is I've no longer got drink.
All I know is the two Red Bulls are dead, and the Williams is looking pretty good now in this constructors fight.
Yeah, definitely looking good with 2 points coming out of this race. I never knew 2 points would be so crucial, but for these two Ferraris, 3 points is definitely pivotal in the way that this goes. It's a question whether or not it will be 7 points or 1 point the margin come the end of today.
I mean,
But
every little helps, I guess.
yeah, definitely. But I think more than anything, I'd quite like Luiko to take the win. Then it minimises the difference. Because you can't get more than 3 points advantage after first and second, you know?
More than anything, I want Noah to win. Good experience for the iRace. As into the
there
pit
goes
lane.
Lurchy!
Lurchy, what has happened?
As that is heartbreak for the Scuderia. I think that has definitely determined the way in which this fight between the two Ferrari will go today. And now the question will be, Clapton, he's in P4, he's on the fresh mediums. Is he going to catch Lurchy? Come the end, it's only 3 seconds, but then he will have to pull out the penalty margin as well. So there's a chance that that gap between Lurchy and Clapton does diminish come the end of today. It would be quite nice to see them lot all drop to 15 points between one another. It still does put TSMO in a prime position to win this championship in a week's time, as the McLaren doing wonders. He's already dropped about 1.2 seconds in the first sector alone, and that gap just continuing to go down, trying to fend off thin air, however, which is a rather interesting tactic. I've seen some people try and defend the braking bollards, but I've never seen thin air as such done. So, irrespective of that, that is really where our race is going to lie over the next 9 or so laps. Clapton versus Lurchy, the fight for second in this Drivers' Championship is about to get a bit tighter.
Josh has now left.
Yeah, I was going to say, that commentary update on your list did not last long whatsoever.
Well, that's Josh. That's Josh for you.
Yeah, it just comes and goes without warning.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I've still got while all this is happening, I'm still watching the 24 Hours of Nürburgring.
So you're watching Nürburgring and I'm commentating
Yeah.
with a very sore throat. Cool. Glad we are on the same page of this.
Actually,
But
oh, there's a yellow flag up. Okay.
there's Pepe's
Yeah.
who has parked it in that Haas car and now limping into the pit lane. That will probably be their day over, which I think would be very good for everyone else because it means as long as you make it to the start-finish line, you take home at least 1 point.
Except
Woo.
if your name is Peppies.
Yeah, unless you're Peppies, then you're going to have to find something somewhere.
Can we, as the commentators, just disqualify someone to make sure that everyone else scores a point? Because
I'd disqualify the SMO.
I would only disqualify him if it's with Elixir. Too dominant
I mean,
for me.
I'd just straight up disqualify him. Then that way, Lurchy and Clapland will be ahead entering the finale, and it's all to play for. But
TSMO, how do you feel about that, TSMO?
the alternate would just be disqualify the two Ferraris. Say they had too much of a gap in their rear wing, or their skid marks were burnt down too much, just like the Papaya had in Las Vegas last year.
You know, this underfloor is looking pretty low, Lurchy. Lurchy, I think you might need to get this checked out post-race.
Same with TSMO, but
yeah, look at
Clapland,
this.
all over the back of Lurchy, could he maybe gain that third place?
Or maybe just DNF for Ferrari, that works.
I mean, that would just give TSMO the title at that point, unless Lurchy wants to try and gain 21 points in Brazil.
Unless Clapland survives and then dive bombs TSMO. That works.
It would be interesting to see how that works.
We need bloody louder air.
Clapland with the rear wing open, the McLaren closing in more and more per second. Are they going to go for the move on the Ferrari? No, they won't.
But damn.
He hyped that up, but unfortunately, we will have to wait a while longer.
Before we see a disqualification.
Or even any form of on-track action. Like, at this point, I'm waiting for the checkered flag to fall. Then I can try and fix my voice before I go refereeing tomorrow. Unfortunately, got to do my brother's football match. So,
oh, damn.
Yeah. Voice went up work.
Whoa! Okay, no, I was just showing a replay. As I said, still watching Nürburgring.
Yeah. But Clapland, right on the back of Lurchy, to the inside goes the McLaren against the Ferrari. They do have 3 extra seconds of track limit penalties, unfortunately. But can
we transfer that to the Ferrari? Would that be possible?
Mean, I would ideally want it for TSMO. Then that way,
just transfer both to TSMO.
What, both McLaren's penalties?
Or wait, no, just all the race penalties.
That would put him in at last.
That would put him in Mexico.
Yeah.
Sent back to Mexico with those penalties.
Yeah. But
we're still getting fired.
In terms of the race over penalties, Gogo 15 seconds, Null Woke on 12 seconds, Pepe's on 9 seconds, Lativo 9 seconds, Heavy Mad Bam and Dom Pedrito 6 seconds, and then the other 3 on 3 seconds. So that is a rather linear race. It does look like it's a straight on Western shootout between that Alpine and the Mercedes over the most penalties today, as laps ticking away slowly but surely. But Lurchy currently holding on to the deficit they have against Clapland as much as possible, as Dom Pedrito has overtaken Lativo on the inside for turn 11, and that is the place done and dusted for the Haas. As long as he stays within 3 seconds of that Williams, it will be P9 come the end of today.
I've done the maths. If TSMO does get everyone's penalty, he'll get a 66-second time penalty. Not including DNF people. So that will be a dream, you know.
As Don trying to straight up go inside Lativo, take it how you wish, not down the inside, and ghosts their way up into P9. Lativo on the inside, trying to fight it back in the Williams. There will definitely be questions as the Williams just straight up drives the Haas off the road.
Can't wait to see penalties. Okay, Okay, it looked like he was giving it back for a minute.
Yeah, I've got no clue. That was.
You're seeing this.
What was the lag spike?
Look, just him teleporting.
I mean, at this rate, I'm better off commentating in Antarctica, so this evens out.
At this rate, we might well watch Formula Penguin over there.
Yeah, because at least there won't be any lag in that server. However, Don Pedrito is going to try and fight back against Lativo. DRS wide open in the Haas. Are they going to go to the inside? That's a double move from Lativo.
I wonder what pit stops would look like down there.
Yeah.
Right. Clapton could be making a move on Lurch. Very soon into turn 1, he pulls out and he's going to make the move.
Yeah, McLaren up to third, just needs to drop the ball by 3 seconds in the next 4 laps. Otherwise, it may be game over, but Noel Woke, seeing whether or not they can beat the Racing Bulls on track or not. At the moment, the answer is no.
Noah, what do you mean I went airborne?
I don't know.
He's just said in an elixir, I went airborne. I don't know if that's referring to my airborne incident in iRacing or if that's referring to me flying, but whichever one the hell do you mean? I have flown a plane before, it is not a great experience.
Don Pedrito, still tucked in on the back of Lativo.
There's a move for P3 again.
Yeah. Lurchy versus Clapland, that's just a simple swap of place. As we also have Null Woke versus Heavy Mad, but I'm getting quite close. The move was considered for a brief moment. Unfortunately, that did not come around. A bit like the much anticipated Drake and Morgan Wallen collab I was staying up all night for.
Peppy.
But hey ho. As Peppy was just going slow. Pedrito trying to go again against Lativo.
I blame it on the Haas.
Yeah, I do blame the Haas. However, we are not far from the end whatsoever. I bet the top 2 just want it over and done with now. They are 29 seconds is the gap between the top 3. 17 in the top 2. If you are somewhat competent when it comes to maths, you'll then work out that it's about 12 seconds between TSMO and Clapland.
Or you can just look at the Elixir stream, it automatically shows you.
Yeah, all of that is another option. As we are just waiting it out for another move. I'll be honest, I ran out of my drink halfway through the race. I brought 2 up in preparation because of my sore throat and constantly been losing my voice, but
please keep your voice. If you lose your voice, I need to actually commentate. So
it's just staying there for the last few moments. And now my question is, are we having post-race interviews?
My question is, who's out of these 3, who's actually bothered to? Because the past couple of races, I think it's been these. I'm going to go check last results.
I mean, I wouldn't mind interviews, but it will probably be a papaya and 2 Ferraris, or 2 Ferraris and a papaya based off whether or not Lurchy does drop the ball again over the next lap or
we'll just get Josh to do them, you know? just take him out in league race.
Yeah.
Right. Will this be done before quarter past?
No.
Damn it.
I don't think so.
Ah, damn. I was going to sign myself up for a league race in iRacing.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Your joys of hooking this up.
I'm going to open iRacing.
Yeah, I don't think DSMO would be too happy about that.
Yeah. I don't think Lurch will be happy about. There's a Sauber that's just caught up to him. XLV. Hello, mate.
Well, 6 Seconds of penalties.
Well, yeah, but we can just give those to TSMO. It'll be all good. I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
I want to go to bed. Okay, back on track. Don't worry, my energy drink wore off as of 1 minute ago, according to my calculations.
Did you want me to commentate these last 2 laps?
No, I'm alright.
I'll just cut the highlights to here so it'll look like I'd be doing all the commentary. As Don loses position. Oh, very wide.
Just forcing off track, both of them getting 3-second penalties. I don't think either of them will be happy. However, Lativo, I think, is going to get many more. Because I'm sorry, I've seen him force Don off about 4 times, double move about 3 times. It's quite clear that he's got literally no racing sense against that.
It's quite clear that it's all TSMO's fault and he should get a penalty.
Whereas these lot pretty much being unstoppable. But for the final time of this race, I'm actually going to
Luico. Say Luico.
For the first time this race, I'm going to sit up from a slouch and act as if I've had an energy drink. But it's a Luico coming around the triple right-handers. There's been a crash between Lativo and Dom Pedrito. I'm pretty sure the Williams lobbed the hat into the wall, but Luico is going to weather the Texan conditions, even though they haven't been treacherous whatsoever, to win the penultimate race of the season. TSMO is going to come round the final few corners in second, but Lurchie versus Clapton fighting it on track, even though the way you see it currently, third, fourth and fifth will stay how they are, but they can change as much as they want. On the road, it will not impact your final result. It will be the Ferrari who comes home P3, then is Clapton fourth and Vexy's fifth, unless you see that ambitious lunge, which does not come around for them whatsoever, as Dom Pedrito is typing away. He is probably about to shout out Lativ for their terrorist-esque driving, as Heavy Mad Bam 6th and Null Woke takes home 7th. Gogo Frost will round out in P8 with 18 seconds of penalties, and then we are just waiting for this Haas driver of Pepe's.
Latif, what are you doing?
As now, are we getting those interviews post-race, or is that being brushed over today? Is my question, because I'm on my debut.
I mean, I think they all are. They can all just join the live booth here. Okay, no time for TSMO. As
Pepe's.
I don't think you've hit the line. You haven't really crossed the line yet.
Yeah, I thought it'd celebrate a teeny bit too early.
There we go. P1 for the McLaren of Luico. And we're set to have a really good finale. As do we have an announced champion, I wonder?
No. Constructors Ferrari, but drivers still goes on to the finale. Yeah. TSMO should have a lead of 7 points over Lurchie and about 18 over Clapton. So it's all to play for the finale.
Right, well, it's 1:15, so I'm going to get... No, I'm not. I'd say. Look at these penalties.
But yeah, your final results, as I'm trying to hold on to my voice for the final time today, it's Luico. Then it's TSMO, Lurchie, Clapton, Vexy's, Heavy Mad Bam, Null Woke, Gogo Frost, Pepe's, Lativo, Dom Pedrito, Ashton, Elliot, Breed, Noah, and then Chris. Unfortunately, we only saw the top 9 cross the line today, but Lativo and Dom Pedrito managed to make the 90 percentile to be classified as a finisher, even though they both found the wall at the end of the penultimate lap. But for now, I think that is pretty much enough to round it all off.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank
I
you
can
for.
hear your voice going, so it is the end. I think we'll not talk to you any longer. Let's end this stream now. Any last words, Terry?
Tune in next week. Hopefully, I'll have a voice.
Or just stream with your Elixir tomorrow. Before TS Smoke cuts up, we will go now. See you guys.